am more than breast cancer.
I am more than gastric cancer.
I am more than Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3.
I am more than Lynch syndrome.
I am more than metastatic male breast cancer.
I'm more than PMDD.
I am more than diabetes.
I am more than lupus.
I am more than FAP.
Welcome to More Than a Diagnosis. I'm Den.
And I'm Jess. This podcast is about so much more than cancer, chronic illness, or the labels we've been given. It's about reclaiming our lives, finding community, and thriving in ways we never thought possible.
Whether you're a patient, a caregiver, or just someone curious about what it means to live beyond a diagnosis, we're so glad you're here.
Today's episode is the first part of our new mini-series that we're calling Missing Pieces, because so many times in the cancer and chronic illness world, a lot of us go through things that require us to get pieces of our body removed, and Den, you are no stranger to that. So I think we're going to start with you.
Life without a colon looks very different.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, really. And
Yeah.
then I was finally in it, and I thought it would just go differently. I had to remind myself we all heal at a different pace. It's just a whole lot.
I'm sure that there's actually quite a few people out there who can relate to your story and everything that you've been through. Today we'll touch a little bit on your experience with FAP and desmoid tumors and, you know, all the messiness of life.
Literally. In my case, it's literally messy.
So let's start at the beginning. What was life like before surgery to remove your colon?
Life was fine. I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever.
Wow.
None. I felt nothing. Nothing. It wasn't until I went to my primary care doc because of the trauma that I went through that I said to her, you know, I've got this heaviness in my abdominal area. And she's like, I don't feel anything. How about I, see you in a month? Well, less than the month, I could already literally feel the mass.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I went back, she felt it, and she said, we need imaging like yesterday.
That's so quick to go from like feeling it internally. I'm assuming you can kind of feel like a heaviness to then being able to feel it on the outside in such a short amount of time. I can only imagine how like jarring that was.
Yeah.
Be like, what is happening?
Time I felt it. I'm like, oh, what is that? I don't know. It's probably just, my fat or something. And I'm like, no. And so I kept like pressing on it. It was this obsession almost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, is this really what I'm feeling? Okay. And then the next day I'm like, well, this part wasn't here before.
Oh.
As the days went on, I could actively feel it growing. It was
so fast.
Yes.
That's
crazy.
Terrible.
And then came the pain. Because it was growing at such a high rate.
Yeah.
It was pressing on, organs and nerves and all of that. So it's going to cause pain.
Wow.
It was extremely painful.
That sounds awful. And that was in your abdominal area?
Abdominal area, yeah.
So she ordered imaging.
She ordered imaging, and they saw the mass, and they didn't know what it was. They said, we need to do a biopsy. They tried to do an in-office biopsy. Never again.
Oh my goodness.
Never again. It was excruciating.
I can't even imagine, because I know how painful the breast biopsy was. I can't imagine them trying to biopsy a mass in your abdomen without really knowing what they were going after.
And it was unsuccessful. Shocker.
Ugh.
So, because it was unsuccessful, they said, you know what, we need to just go for it and do an MRI-guided biopsy.
Okay.
At this point. And they did that. Preliminary pathology said, this looks like a desmoid tumor, but we're going to run a few more studies to give an accurate diagnosis. And it came back as a desmoid tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when...
Had you ever even heard of a desmoid tumor before that?
Look it up.
Oh my goodness.
I had heard of like a dermoid cyst.
Yes.
But...
Yes. Are those the ones that have hair and like teeth and stuff? So you're like, okay, it's not that, but what is it?
Yes.
At that time, did you know that it was also not cancer?
Preliminary, yes. So it came back non-cancerous. But I had to still wait for the final
pathology. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it came back negative for cancer cells, but positive for these friendly cells that love to party because they call all their friends. And that's why it grows.
So fast.
It's literally a party.
Nice.
That party calls more friends to come over.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
cute. Love that.
Cute.
Love that.
So it came back negative for cancer, positive for desmoid. They said, well, we need to do a colonoscopy.
Because it was a desmoid tumor.
Because it was a desmoid tumor, yes. They went in and they found over 100 polyps.
Wow.
So she's telling me this. We found over 100 polyps. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they're removed, right?
Because that's what they do, right? When people have colonoscopies, it's not uncommon for people to have precancerous polyps, right?
And they get removed. Usually it's just a couple.
Yeah.
In my case, because it was over hundreds, there's no way. They're going to remove all of those polyps. And she said, unfortunately, you will have to remove your colon. And I said, what do you mean all of it? Like part of it, right? No, all of it. All of it. And yeah, so...
Had you had any issues, like digestively, before all of this?
No.
That is a wild that you could have hundreds of polyps in your colon and have no symptoms.
None.
But I mean, is it true that, because, you know, we have quite a few friends who have colon cancer or who have had colon cancer, and is that part of why it's found sometimes at later stages, is because it's not symptomatic?
Yes. Oftentimes when you start feeling symptoms, it's already advanced. Which is why screening is so important.
Yeah.
You know,
but you weren't even old enough to have a colonoscopy, right? Because is it 45?
45.
That it's recommended?
Yes. And I was at the time 35.
So you were 10 years prior to getting any screening, and you go in for your very first colonoscopy and you have hundreds of polyps.
Yeah.
Wow. So she's like, basically, you have no choice. We have to remove your colon.
Yeah.
Is it because polyps will turn into cancer?
So the polyps that I have.
Okay.
They're already pre-cancer.
Okay.
So she said they're pre-cancer. This will turn into cancer.
Wow.
Will. It's not a matter of if.
Yeah.
It's a matter of when.
When. And you already have hundreds of them, so it's almost like there's a ticking time bomb in your body, essentially. So not only are you dealing with this new discovery that you have a desmoid tumor that's growing rapidly, now you have faced with, okay, you're going to have to lose your colon.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in at one time.
It is a lot. And let's not forget about the trauma. And so I was already struggling with my mental health.
Yes.
So it was a double whammy.
It's almost like, how can you even begin to process what's happening to your body physically when you are all jumbled up with your mental health?
I didn't.
Yeah. There's no way you could.
No.
So what came next? If you had this growing tumor that is obviously aggressive and growing super fast, and you've got these precancerous polyps, hundreds of them, how do they decide, what do we do first?
Well, first thing first, they said we need to address the tumor. You have a desmoid, likelihood of it coming back. Let's start less invasive. So let's do high dose radiation. So I did 30 rounds.
Wow.
25 high dose radiation, 5 rounds of CyberKnife, which is even more precise.
Yeah.
But the tumor really liked the radiation and it grew instead of shrinking.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was on a very long course of high steroids so that my body could go into very like super fast healing so that I could have the surgery because it was just getting bigger.
Oh my goodness. It's like insult to injury.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And mind you that by this time I was on heavy dose pain medicine because I couldn't handle
Yeah.
it. That's
How
bad
big
it
was the tumor? Do you know? Do you remember?
You know what, off the top of my head, I want to say it was about 3 centimeters.
Uh-huh.
3, yeah.
And
It was
growing.
definitely more than 3. Oh, and growing. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was a good size. It was a really
Man.
good size. And by the time she opened me up, it was an inch away from my pelvic bone. Which it would have gone through, by the way, because desmoid tumors go through bone, tissue, nerves, anything. They respect nothing. They don't metastasize.
I was going to say,
go through anything in its way.
So it's like, yay, it's not cancer, but then it's also almost more aggressive than, not that it's a competition, but these tumors are extremely aggressive to the point that they will literally eat through your bones.
They will. They will. They respect nothing. And because of that, and because of so many similarities that it has with sarcoma, that's why I have a team of sarcoma specialists, oncologists.
I see. I see.
Heading my care. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So you get all this high dose radiation, your tumor grows, you get put on high dose steroids.
Get thrown into menopause.
Oh,
Because
lovely.
the high dose radiation, it was just way too close to my ovaries. And
did they tell you that that
No.
was...
they did not. They did not. It's something that I've struggled with. It's something that I've had to forgive myself because at the time I was not wearing my nurse hat. And that's something that as a nurse I knew could happen.
Yeah, of course.
But I wasn't wearing my nurse hat. So it's something that should have been communicated to me. I wasn't in the best mind space.
Absolutely.
Because of everything that had already happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I didn't know it was going to happen until it happened.
Yeah.
So at 35, I got thrown into menopause.
That's just a lot of things to deal with at one time.
Yes.
So they were putting you on these high dose steroids because they wanted your body to heal so that they could take you into surgery. Surgery for the tumor or surgery for your colon?
For the tumor. Only for the tumor.
So they were still just focusing on the tumor and kind of hanging back with the colon for a little bit.
Yeah. And
that had to be scary.
Very, very scary.
Knowing that you have hundreds of precancerous polyps that are just hanging out in there.
Oh, very.
So you did radiation, you healed with the steroids, then you went into surgery for them to remove the tumor?
Yes, they removed the entire tumor. Because the desmoid tumor went through my entire abdominal wall, they had to do a lot of reconstruction. They had to place a mesh, which my body later rejected. And it was at least a year or so of recurrent hospitalizations due to my body rejecting the mesh. Unfortunately, we had to part ways. I went to a different medical center, thankfully. They really had a lot of experience with this type of tumor and condition. Only about, I want to say 5 to 10% of people who have desmoid tumors have FAP. But not everyone who has FAP will end up with a desmoid tumor, I guess you can say. So it's very interesting how it works.
That is very interesting.
But everyone with FAP is at risk for developing colon cancer. So the treatment is still colon removal.
Got it.
At some point. A lot of people, they will just get monitored, surveillance up until, they can't anymore, and then they do the colon removal.
It's so interesting how our genetics play a role in the things that are happening in our body that way, and then in the monitoring, and then in the procedures that have to follow. Because it reminds me a lot of folks who have the BRCA mutation.
Yes.
Because they know they're being monitored for ovarian cancer, they're being monitored for breast cancer, but they know that at some point they're going to have a hysterectomy, they're going to have a mastectomy in order to prevent having cancer. That's got to be a lot to carry. And also the fact that you were literally learning all of this stuff all at one time.
Yeah.
The tumor is the reason why you figured out that you had FAP. And that is the reason why you figured out that you had polyps in your colon.
Yeah, which led to the colon removal so that I don't die from colon cancer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is scary because if I didn't have symptoms with the hundreds of polyps I had, it definitely makes sense why some people may not have symptoms for a really long time until it's so advanced that it's causing symptoms.
For sure. So you were healing from multiple hospitalizations, all the complications from the tumor resection, all of the crazy things that happen with that, all while still knowing that you were going to have your colon removed. Wild. So how long did you have to wait from the time that you first found the tumor till when you did get to have your colon removed?
I want to say a little over a year once everything's said and done, because I had to go back for a second surgery. They had to remove the mesh, and they did place a stratus, which is made out of pig tissue, and that's what they used to create the mesh.
Wow.
So they redid the surgery. They hadn't gotten clean margins, so they used the second surgery to go back and get clean margins, or try to get clean margins. Yeah. And so probably about a year after the second surgery.
And at that point, your body's gone through so much from all of those surgeries that now you're going into another major surgery where you're literally losing an entire body part. And it's not like you're going in your best fighting shape.
No.
You know, like, it's like you've already been through all of this.
Yes.
Medical stuff, hospitalizations, multiple surgeries, pain, healing from radiation, being in menopause. Like, that is a lot to then go into this huge life-changing surgery of having your colon removed. Now, I don't know a ton about colon removal, but one thing that I have heard is that a lot of times people get, are they ostomy bags?
Yes. So in my case, the plan was to potentially have an ostomy.
Okay.
In my case, it was going to be an ileostomy. They removed my entire colon. They reconnect the ileum to the rectum in my case. If they are unable to reconnect, then they create a stoma. So I would have had an ileostomy. And the doctor had even marked me.
Wow.
Because it was possible.
Okay.
She was going to try to reconnect me. But if, let's say, the skin, because of all the radiation, wasn't able to hold on to the sutures and everything, then it was going to be a bag.
Wow.
She thankfully was able to reconnect me.
That's amazing.
It was a little more extensive than she thought.
Sure.
And it was initially just going to be laparoscopic, and then I started as a laparoscopic and then had to open me up.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're going into this colon surgery thinking that you're going to have a laparoscopic surgery and not knowing if you're going to end up with a bag afterwards.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I can't even imagine the toll that takes on you mentally.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the type of person who likes to know what to expect and likes to plan ahead. That is a lot.
Yeah.
But you knew going into it that she was removing the entire colon.
Yes. So I just didn't know if I'd be reconnected or if I'd have an ileostomy.
Okay.
But all of it was coming out.
Okay. But you also thought you were going to have a laparoscopic procedure.
Yes. And I ended up with both lap and open. So I have an incision.
So you have little
lap sites.
I was going to say, so you have the little lap sites and an incision. Mm-hmm. So why did she end up having to open you up?
So unfortunately, because of the previous 2 surgeries, I had a lot of adhesions, a lot of scar tissue.
Oh.
And she didn't want to jeopardize the work that the plastic surgeon had done.
Sure.
So she didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she had to. She said, I had no choice but to open you up.
Wow.
So I said, okay. I've got lots of scars on my tummy.
I bet you do.
Lots.
Yeah. So what did that recovery look like for losing your colon, and what kind of changes happen when you no longer have a colon? Because I think a lot of times, as lay people who are not in the medical field, like, we don't always understand. It's been a long time since health class in high school. If we didn't go to school for this kind of thing, we don't always remember how the body functions and what different parts of the body do different things. But I know that the colon is a huge organ that is very necessary. So
it is. It's the largest organ.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's the largest organ. So not having the largest organ, can only imagine that brings some major changes.
Major. The colon's responsible for holding on to our electrolytes and keeping us hydrated. Without the colon, basically, all of that's just going right through me.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I get very easily dehydrated. Very, very easily. I'm always walking around with my electrolytes, pushing the fluids. And unfortunately, I did have some pretty bad complications right after surgery. My bowels completely stopped. They basically got paralyzed. It's what's called ileus, and they think that it was due to pain medicine. So pain medicine, narcotics can make you constipated. Right?
Yes.
So because I didn't have a colon, it basically put my small intestine to sleep. It paralyzed it, so then it was no longer working.
Oh my goodness.
Food was no longer going through the intestine. It was just coming right back up. So I was unable to hold anything down. Nothing.
That's horrible. Was that immediate after?
It was post-op day 2.
Wow. It just stopped. It was like, nope, we're done.
Yeah. It just completely stopped.
That's scary.
And it was. So I needed to get an NG tube. So I had an NG tube in place for 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. This recovery.
Yeah.
This recovery, I don't wish on anyone.
No.
It was brutal.
Well, your body had just gone through so much that it was probably just like, what are we even doing? How are we supposed to function? You've taken this part out and you've moved this part and you've messed with this part and I've got parts that don't belong there, and that's a lot. Different. Yeah.
From what I eat, and that changes. It fluctuates on the weekly.
Yeah.
Safe foods one week aren't always safe the next week.
Yeah.
So it's that constant cycle of what's safe, what's not.
Sure.
Spices I don't do too well with. Yeah, some foods I know will mess with.
Yeah.
Caffeine is one of them. My body doesn't do well with caffeine. It's so interesting how, and I'm sure that someone else who's had their colon removed has similar experience, but not exactly the same, because our bodies react to surgery, medication, different.
All differently.
Are different. And
so besides electrolyte imbalances, what other things are the function of the colon that have changed the way that your digestion and your bathroom habits and all those things. I'm sure all of that is also affected, right?
Oh, it is. It's definitely going to increase the amount of times you go to the bathroom. Now, some people are able to not go back to where they were baseline because, your colon has been completely removed. But they're able to get to a place where it's just a few. Unfortunately, I go about 5 or more times a day, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
And the consistency is completely different.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, it's very liquidy for me.
Yeah.
At times, thankfully, it's sometimes soft, and I'm like, yay!
You're like, oh, it's kind of normal.
So that's really exciting. Unfortunately, I have a lot of urgency. A lot of times, by the time I feel it, it's like, you better be on the toilet because it doesn't give me much time. So I'm constantly looking. I need to know where bathrooms are.
Yeah.
I need to plan accordingly.
Yeah.
I really don't have control.
Yeah.
Over it.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, like, when I eat, depending on if I eat fast, then it kind of makes my body want to go, kind of like babies when babies are, and all of a sudden,
yep,
you gotta go. So that's kind of how my body works.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It's different.
That's a huge adjustment. I mean, and the thing is it's not just a one time or just a short term after recovery that you're dealing with this. This is a lifelong change for you that you've had to go through because you are now missing a body part.
Yeah. And the medication that I'm on to stabilize the tumor adds to my already present side effects. So it exacerbates diarrhea and whatnot. So, it's a lot.
Yeah. What's something that you wish that people understood about life without a colon?
I wish people understood that when someone farts, it's not because they're trying to be funny or silly. There are people who can't control the gas, and I'm one of them. And it's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
And, some days it's easier than others.
Sure.
But it's a little embarrassing.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Like, I'm not farting because I'm extra gassy because I no longer have a colon.
Yeah. I can imagine that is like a very interesting problem to have when you're a nurse. Having to hold in your gas, that's not good for you.
No, it's painful to hold it in, actually.
I can imagine.
I feel like it's painful on the way out. It's painful if I hold it. It's just painful.
Yeah.
Very painful. And some people don't realize that farts can be painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also that I'm not being picky. It's not that I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude or bratty. Yes, I am a brat, but I'm not purposefully being a brat when it comes to food.
Yeah.
I just know that my body today cannot handle eating that.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes. And I'm, it's not that I didn't like it. It tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Because I love food. And that's part of another aspect that I struggle with. I love food.
That's a hard one. If you are a foodie and then being limited to what you can eat and then that changing too and not really having control over, this day it's going to feel this way and this day it's going to feel that way and you don't really know.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I also discovered that when I exercise, it makes my body want to go.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Kid you not, 20 minutes into a walk, I'm like, where's the bathroom?
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's
Especially if
not fun.
I'm going past a certain speed, like if it's a brisk walk.
Yeah.
It stimulates my bowels.
Oh my goodness. So the first half of your walk has to be slow and steady. And then the brisk part of your walk has to be the end of your walk so that you're back to the bathroom.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like, these are, I don't know if other people, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, maybe I should make a post. I really don't know any other people who don't have a colon.
Yeah.
I would love to compare notes.
You
actually.
should. You should. Because the thing is I think it's another one of those things where there are more people out there who are living like you're living, but they're just not sharing their stories publicly. And so I feel like that's part of the reason why we do what we do is to help other folks not feel alone in these kinds of things, because I'm sure that you're not the only one who goes for a brisk walk without your colon and needs to go to the bathroom.
Or am I the only nurse that will, grab an item just to make noise without making a sound? Am I the only one that does that?
And surely you can't be the only nurse who is living without a colon.
Right.
Yeah.
I
just feel like there are other people out there who are going through what you're going through. And, I want to commend you for sharing your story, because it's not easy talking about these things. It's not easy to talk about having to go to the bathroom 5 times a day and farting and no control over your bowels. And those things could be embarrassing and hard to navigate. But in you sharing that, I think it's empowering to other people who have faced similar challenges. And I think that it's just beautiful that you're sharing that.
Thank you. I realized it does make a difference when you share. Just getting it out of your system.
Yeah.
There's something so therapeutic about it. And I know we've talked about this so
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
But it is. And then knowing that me spitting all of this out can potentially help someone feel a little less alone.
Absolutely.
There's just something just so beautiful about that.
I agree. Looking back now on your journey of, discovering that you had a desmoid tumor, learning that you had FAP, and then having to lose your colon, and all the things that you have gone through, what do you feel like that has taught you about resilience and living fully?
I feel that living with a genetic condition, it means as long as I'm alive, this is part of who I am. It's my genetic makeup. I will always have this. And it's taught me to just look at things from a different perspective. It's scary. Sometimes the thoughts get the best of me.
I can imagine.
Especially when it comes to the fact that this is genetic and my child has a 50% chance of having this is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
But I've learned so much about myself. And I really didn't know what it would be like going through all of this. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't think anything can prepare you for that.
No. But looking back, and sometimes I go back in time and I can, oh, wow, yeah, that was bad. And then I go back to the present and I'm like, wow, I really went through all of that.
Yes.
And I'm still standing.
Yes.
And I'm not wearing it right now, but that's why I have the little necklace that Narissa makes. So my little pendant says never, never give up.
Love it.
Because if anything, I've learned don't give up and don't lose hope. As long as I don't lose hope, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much. I could keep going. And I just never imagined that something so major, so tough, could actually change me for the better.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. And blood, sweat, and tears. But
literally,
I really like the version of who I am now. And I thought I really liked that version before.
Yeah.
But everything I've gone through has shaped me into a different version, and I really like her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And considering that, I've gone through all this, I'm going through life without a colon, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
And that really makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful to be alive. I'm just happy. Which is weird because you've got all these, gut issues. Like, how can you be happy? Like, you're always tired and this and that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy.
Yeah, you have so much to be grateful for sure.
And I think I've accepted it.
Yeah.
And I think that has made a really big difference.
Yeah.
I'm no longer fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my reality, and I get to choose what to make of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for sharing your story so openly. I think that this really helps people to understand what life is like, living with missing pieces. And, I think that for folks who may be facing something similar, even if it's not for the same reason, I think that they can find encouragement through this. So thank you.
Thanks for joining us on More Than a Diagnosis. We hope today's conversation left you feeling seen, heard, and maybe even a little more connected.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need it.
And if you're looking for a place to connect with others who truly get it, join our support circle at morethanadiagnosis.org, where we will continue this conversation. It's free, it's welcoming, and it's built for you.
Because no one should have to navigate this alone.
Until next time,
keep living, keep growing, and remember,
you are more than a diagnosis.